So let's talk a little bit about President Biden's reelection campaign. It is fair to say in a period of kind of distress. And I want to bring in Michigan Democratic Senator Gary Peters. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to talk to you. For Democrats who are watching and for Republicans and independents who are watching, in fair numbers, I'll let you know, what would you tell them about what they are seeing and hearing on an almost daily basis about this internal crisis within the party, about the future of President Biden's reelection campaign?
Well, I can tell you the president continues to be focused on running. He's been certainly telling everybody that he is going to be the nominee and that he is going to run a strong race. And so that's certainly where the president's coming from right now.
Where are you coming from, Senator Peters?
Well, certainly I support the president, always have supported the president. I think he's been an absolutely outstanding president. If you just look at legislative accomplishments under the President Biden, you'd have to go way back in history to find a president that's been as effective as he is. But I also, I head up the Democratic Senate Campaign Committee, so my focus is on making sure we hold the Senate and expand the Senate. And certainly we know all of these races are going to be incredibly competitive, especially in battleground states like we have here in Michigan. And so I've been talking to the president's campaign and certainly giving them my views and my concerns about having a very, very close race and what we have to do in order to win. And certainly we've got our work cut out for us.
How can you articulate those concerns? Do your concerns include advice for the president to step aside?
Well, I don't want to get into specifics of any kind of advice that I have given, but I've had the opportunity to talk directly to key leaders of the Biden campaign. And I'm a pretty straight shooter. I'm a fact person. I'm going to look at the facts on the ground and look at the data points that are necessary to know how to win. And so I've given a very straightforward and candid assessment to the Biden campaign. And I know that they are considering that.
How was your candid, data-driven analysis received?
They listened.
Happily?
Well, I think they have an interest. They're focused, obviously, on winning, as we all are. We think that's, without question, the number one thing that we have to do is to win. And certainly, I think it was a good, productive conversation.
So we have a new CBS poll out tonight, and I know one poll does not determine an election. No poll determines an election, but there is a trajectory that others within the Democratic Party are seeing in internal polls. Our poll has the national number, 52 former President Trump, 47 President Biden, the largest lead for former President Trump in this entire campaign cycle, a lead he did not have in 2020, he did not have in 2016. Your reaction to that poll?
Well, certainly just one poll. There's a lot of polls. I see polls on a daily basis. I head the campaign committee for the Senate. And so I always take one individual poll with a grain of salt. You have to look at patterns. We've had some extraordinary events that have occurred over the last few days. You're in the middle of a Republican convention right now that tends to always give a bounce to the party that's in that convention. But you have to take the sum of all of that information before you come to any conclusions. My focus is primarily on the Senate, and I can tell you that if you look at the polling of our Senate candidates around the country, they are actually leading their Republican opponents. We've actually seen in recent days their lead has actually grown over that period of time, and this is not just from one poll, but a lot of different polls that have been put together. So they are running strong. I'm very pleased by that. We still got a lot of campaign ahead of us. We still got a Democratic convention. You get after Labor Day, a lot of folks who simply aren't paying attention to politics. They've got a lot of other things in their lives that they've got to be concerned about. But after Labor Day, you start seeing dynamics of a campaign come in clearer focus as some of our undecided folks or folks who are not as engaged start to get engaged. And that's when polls start telling us a whole lot more.
Michigan Democratic Senator Gary Peters. Sir, thank you very much for your time.